We know that before you can expect your prospects to have an open and honest dialogue with you about their problems and how you may be able to solve them, you have to start building rapport and trust with them, and you have to start doing this quick, like in the first 30 seconds quick. And the trust that you build has to be sustained trust, the kind of trust that will last for years to come. Trust is one of the most important attributes you can have in any relationship, inside and outside of business. And building trust is not easy. It takes years to build trust. And as the saying goes, it only takes seconds to break it. Let's take a closer look at the 4 basic building blocks of trust and how we can use them to create productive relationships quickly and make them last for years to come. The 4 building blocks of trust are social, visual, expertise, and genuine. Let's start with social trust. Research described in Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, Science and Practice, shows that people often look at their peers to help guide their decisions and actions, especially in times of uncertainty. That's why social proof is such a strong initiator of trust. When prospects know that other people similar to them have had a good experience working with you and your company, they are more likely to be open to working with you as well. Of course, you still have to meet or exceed their expectations in order to continue to build trust. But with social trust, you can at least get the trust building process started quickly. Utilize this form of trust to quickly start building a relationship with your prospect by bringing testimonials and references with you to sales meetings. Even better, set up a time and a date for your prospect to speak with a reference. The key here is you want to control that process to assure that the conversation actually does take place. Also, ask your marketing department if it's appropriate to include logos of companies that utilize your solution currently in sales materials and even on your website. If you happen to know some of the same people as your prospect, it's okay to mention the connection, but of course you'll water down the opportunity to build trust if you randomly drop names throughout your interaction. Visual trust and also first impressions are a great way to begin the trust building process and also to hinder it. Your prospect will decide if they want to start building trust with you within the first 60 seconds of meeting you. This quick decision-making process is a survival mechanism that has been honed and developed in the human brain for millions of years. And while our decision criteria has adapted to be more relevant to the current societal norms, we still use this format to decide whether we initially want to trust somebody or not. Of course, in situations where you'll have more than one chance to interact with the prospect, you can start to change a person's initial perspective. But all too often in sales, if we don't start building trust in our very first meeting, there won't be a second meeting. So how do you use first impressions to spark the trust building process? Attire and grooming are important, but a first impression includes much more than that. It includes getting to the meeting on time, knowing your prospect's name and other important information. Even how you set the appointment matters. That includes your spelling and accuracy on the meeting invite that you send. Prospects are going to decide whether or not to be open to the idea of building trust from every interaction they have with you, even before they meet you. Attire and grooming certainly does play a role in your initial impression. Dress sloppy, and people may think you don't pay attention to detail. Dress too nice relative to your industry, and people may think you're out of touch with the reality of your target audience. We always suggest the 1+ rule. Dress just one level higher than the highest ranking prospect you'll be meeting with. The organization and the accuracy of your visual aids and other materials will also be evaluated by your prospect, as well as the condition and functionality of whatever technology you're utilizing during the presentation. So be sure to keep your computer clean and orderly, and always, and I mean always, test run your technology and have at least one backup plan. For example, when I'm presenting in the classroom or in the boardroom, I'll have my information available on a thumb drive, on the cloud, and I'll even email it to myself to make sure that I can access it in various scenarios. And often, I'll also print a backup of the presentation. Now that we've started the trust building process with our quick trust builders, let's dive into the sustaining or the long-term trust builders.